Hi, lovies. Hi, lovies. Hi. Um, okay, so for the past few weeks, we've been receiving the message of new, right? And because I have everything new, I just excluded myself from the reading. Well, for the past 2 days, I have been feeling extremely irritable. So much so that I was live on YouTube and just lost my temper, right? I did. I was annoyed and bothered that I wasn't given the opportunity to just get through my reading without interruption. So I was heavily annoyed. And then today, my mood is worse. My mood was worse. And I am big on an attitude of gratitude will remedy everything. Seriously, I believe this. And then I found myself struggling to name things that I'm grateful for, new things that I'm grateful for. Okay, let me be more specific. New things that I'm grateful for. And not because I don't appreciate it, it was just my mood was I was so perturbed and frustrated, being blocked at every attempt. I just became frustrated. So past 2 days I've been feeling extremely irritable, and all of the readings say the same thing, and I don't have any reasons to complain. My life is great. And then today I just found myself in a mood, and I'm doing what I have to do, but it's not going my way. Okay. So, you know me, I'm having full-on conversations with God. I want to know, like, I broke out overnight. What is that? And why, after all of this momentum being built, like, what's going on here? What's going on? And so today I got a new message from Spirit. Not just from the Most High, but from other readers. And one of these readers I know personally, okay? One of these readers I know personally, so when I received the message, I knew that her saying what she did, it was just confirmation. And so the new message I've received is, I have an enemy that plans to do something incredibly stupid. Please, enough. Don't do it. It's not going to work in your favor. I mean, I've taken notice, and so I'm giving you the opportunity to turn back, because whatever problems you have with me, you don't have with me, you have with God. And I need you to understand this. You are picking a fight with someone you can't beat, something you can't beat. You can't whoop Jesus. I can't whoop Jesus. And you can't whoop me. Clearly. Otherwise, you wouldn't be having all of these different ideas and emotions and thoughts. You finally want to put something into action, but what you want to put into action, and I've said this before, it's about intention. Your intention is to hurt me. That's not going to end in your favor. That's not going to end well for you. Not because I'm doing anything, but because Jesus is my daddy. And I go to my dad with everything. Jesus is my daddy. So picking a fight with me doesn't make sense, because I'm not the problem. I'm not your adversary. I shouldn't even be on your radar. So it must be one of those things where you decided to just look up one day and was like, what is she doing up there? It had to be one of those. So whatever you want to do, don't do it. But because I'm curious, I'm so curious, God wouldn't have given me the message, hey, keep an eye on this one. I have an eye on this one, but I want you to keep an eye on this one. I said, okay. So now we're going to figure out, I'm going to figure out how you plan to come at me and what you plan to attack. Now, clearly, you want to attack my mind, my attitude, my light. My light comes from Jesus, stupid. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? It's, oh my goodness. What made you get up one day? I know it was the devil. It must have been the devil, sweetheart. You better start praying, because that's the only thing, the only reason you could have possibly had to get up one day and say, you know what, I don't like her. I'm gonna fuck up her world. And when you were sitting in your little chair with your drink and you're mumbling to yourself, I was in a meeting with Christ. And he heard it. I was too busy listening to what he had to say. So now, first and foremost, my mind, you can't have that. It belongs to Jesus. My heart, you can't have that. It belongs to Jesus. My money comes from Jesus. So you can't have that either. But now I'm going to use tarot, since you want to insist that I don't know what I'm doing, and you're untouchable. Since you like to stalk me and since you like to watch me, I want you to watch and learn something today. Watch and learn. I don't use tarot for nefarious reasons. However, you asked to be exposed. And I got the green light. So if you were too stupid to be afraid before, here's your opportunity to learn something. Okay, Ace of Cups and Six of Swords. You're literally attempting to hijack my new beginning. Yeah. You have a problem with my transition and progress, huh? You see me moving away from a difficult situation. Confirmation. Are you a little jealous that I'm moving forward? Is that it? Is that it? Are you stuck? Are you stuck because you came for me? Are you stuck? Are you stuck because you came for me? Oh. Judgment. I thought this was going to be long and drawn out. Well, there you fucking have it. Yeah. Temperance. You are literally threatened by my happiness. Okay, I know you're feeling a little unbalanced lately, right? You feel like no matter how flexible you believe you are, it turns out that you are quite rigid and set in your ways. Ooh. Zodiac Sagittarius. I do believe I know a Sag. I do believe I know a Sag. There we go. There we go. I wouldn't be surprised if you yourself have air in your chart. More than likely Aquarius, but would not be surprised if you're a Gemini or have Gemini in your chart. Everyone knows a Gemini can't be trusted. They are so wish-washy. They flip, they flop, they just want to be included. That's a Gemini. I said what I said. Okay. Apparently you teamed up with somebody else to get this shit done, and you're at ends with that person. Oh, did your backup decide that they didn't want to back you up because they're slightly smarter than you are? It doesn't matter. I mean, even if they participated by listening to your insults about me and at one point co-signed, even if they tried to double back now, too late, you still have to pay for what was done. So thanks for having that you caused. That's it. So yeah, I see here that fire and air, you're threatened judgment. Like this, you're being judged for this. God would not have put it on my fucking radar if you hadn't done something so incredibly stupid he wanted me to watch. Because when God works for me, it's normally behind the scenes and I hear about it afterwards. It's like, hey, did you hear so-and-so was shot? Oh shit. I have an alibi, I swear. I was not up to anything nefarious. I'm not doing anything wrong, okay? No, but no, this person was killed. Oh. But didn't you have a problem with them? No, I didn't have a problem with them. They had a problem with me and Jesus took care of that. And that's how that works. Sometimes the penalty for attacking someone ordained by God, mind you, you don't have to be a Christian, a Catholic, a Muslim, a Hindu. It's not about that. It's not about being a saint or a sinner. God uses the filthiest people for the greatest miracles, okay? So when he said pay attention, because normally he takes care of all of this behind the scenes, I say my psalms, I say my prayers of gratitude, and it's done. I don't give a second thought. Past 2 days though, I've been feeling really irritable, and then I heard it. You're anxious because you stay prepared and you know what's coming. So now you just want to get it over with. And that makes so much sense because I don't like to drag things out. I want it to be done, over with, and you're not even a memory. Delete. But now I see that it's something about me that you just can't delete. Even though you've been deleted. That's ridiculous. Ooh. Here with this moon in reverse. You a little jealous of my intuition, huh? What can I say? It's a Rodriguez trait. Not a Cancer. Despite what most would think. My grandmother on my mother's side was something. Absolutely. But my grandfather's mother, she 11 kids later, fucking beast. There isn't anything she couldn't see, anything she couldn't handle. So I come from a long line of women who just know. And I've been trying my best to ignore your foolishness. Because at the end of the day, I know that you think highly of yourself. And it's because you have to. No one else thinks of you the way you think of you. Your arrogance is really, it's astounding because you're likely to harm yourself. Self-harm yourself, right? You're self-harm when you're not getting attention or getting what you want. And I've been picking up on this. I started having thoughts and I was like, wait a second, this isn't me. I love myself. And then I had that long conversation with God. Where is this coming from? What is going on? The past 2 days have been rough, and well, as far I don't have anything to complain about. My life is fucking great. My life is great. So what's going on? And that's what he said. He said, I gave you more than they thought I would, and now they're a little upset, and they want to fight you. They want to fight me? Shit, I'm retired. You told me to put my hands down. You saying I can get back in? He said no. So, what are you saying? He said, I just want you to watch. Because I told the disciples before you, watch and learn. And then I sent them out in pairs. There is someone I'm going to send you out into the world with. But before I introduce you, I need to make sure that you yourself are prepared to watch and learn and carry on. Should something happen to the other half of your pair. I ain't that. And so he said, girl, they are watching you, they are clocking you, they are doing things that they shouldn't because they have access and limited knowledge about certain practices. when any human first ventures out on their spiritual journey, right? Because we all do it, with the exception of the background players that don't exist. I think the actual human population is 200,000. I do believe that we've kept the human population at 200,000, and everybody else is just a filler in the background, like a video game. With everything that's been going on, I understand that people are going to look at me and judge me and think that I don't deserve the good that I have, because they knew me from a time when I wasn't who I am today. Now, the person I used to be, that bitch was fucking violent. She was fucking violent. Mind you, I'm 4'10". I've always weighed 90 to 110 pounds. Sometimes less, 80 to 100, okay? Confirmation. It's never stopped me from protecting and defending myself. And when I was younger, the bigger the better, you know? The bigger the better. Especially men, because men have always had this attitude. She's small, like a little baby doll. I can smack her around. Every last one of them learned differently. I'm small and savage. I was small and savage. Pretty sure maybe I have some residual savage in there. I'm saving it for the war that I'm actually fighting for. Anywho, people see my growth, and that's challenging for them. So I want to know what your shadows are. Your shadows. The role you embody in conflict often points to unconscious shadow material. Ooh, throat chakra acting up. So I'm going to say it again, because you're not going to stop me from putting your truth out there, motherfucker, since you want to be nosy and shit. The role you embody in conflict, it often points to unconscious shadow material. After all these years of stalking me, I hope I don't have to explain shadow work to you. With examination, you gain access to hidden wounds or patterns that need resolution. Apparently someone finished it for you. So I'll read that again. The role you embody in conflict often points to unconscious shadow material. With examination, you gain access to hidden wounds or patterns that need resolution. And navigating conflict, what roles do you take on most often? Are you the avoider? Are you the critic? Are you the mediator? Or something else? Just an educated guess. Something else. So now I have a question for you. How might this role be informed by early life experiences? Confirmation, I must be onto something. How might this role be informed by early life experiences? If I had to really take a look at the energy that you've been sending my way, when you were a child, no matter how much love you got, you weren't happy. And so you began to act out. You were probably just one of multiple children and the youngest. Not very happy with your lot in life. I'm going to say you struggle with identity and sexuality, stability even. It caused a great deal of mental illness because that trauma that you've stored since childhood has remained in your system since childhood. You're probably in your 30s, 40s, maybe for a handful of you, in your late teens. Late 20s. Okay, next. let's address your disappointment, because clearly you embody an identity that directly conflicts with your actual inner self. Disappointment is a natural and painful part of life. Sometimes it is so painful that it can become hidden within the shadow. What is a disappointment, no matter how big or small, that you can recall from childhood? What happened and what did you learn then about managing disappointment, desire, and grief? If I had to guess, every disappointment, no matter how big or small the disappointment, was actually a disappointment because you were always disappointed. What happened and what did you learn then about managing disappointment, desire, and grief? You became sneaky. You became conniving. You became something that imitates a human. Internal shifts are challenging and can cause you to retreat within the shadow. This hiding helps you manage your thoughts and feelings about others perceiving your changes. Have you outgrown any roles or identities in your life? No, I know you haven't. What risk lies in accepting and embodying these shifts more openly with others? Well, if you were to accept it, right? If you were to open up and accept it, that would mean that you have to release all of that trauma because you're the only person holding on to it. There is no one else in your immediate collective circle or even family that is feeling what you feel because they have all healed and moved on. Maybe you have one or two people that still align with your 2004 attitude, but that's it. Everyone else, the rest of us have moved on. We've evolved, we've healed, we've made something from nothing. Most of us, okay? Most of us have made something from nothing. And we're proud of ourselves. We put that work in. You haven't. So when God said, hey, by the way, your enemy is coming for you. So the reason why you feel the way you do, I want you to check in on some shit. Take a look at this. This is it. You don't know who you are. Not only don't you know who you are, but the idea you have in your head of yourself, you don't even like. Bitch, are you fucking, you're dumb. You're dumb. You're fucking dumb. If you think that anybody else is going to treat you better than you treat yourself. You really ain't got no friends. You may be popular, but you're fucking dumb. You don't have no friends. You may be popular, but you do not have friends. You wanted to come for me. Let's continue, shall we? I'm not done until you cry. Learning to release guilt is an important theme in shadow work, as guilt often keeps you stuck in cycles of pain and self-criticism. Self-understanding and compassion can create a path toward healing. What is one action or choice you carry guilt for? What circumstances or context led you to make that choice? I happen to know one person in particular. I really don't fuck with this person anymore. I haven't fucked with this person in years. Like I'm related to them, but they're not my family. Okay? When this person found out that they were HIV positive, they went on such a self-pity party that they fucked around and did whatever they were gonna do without protection, or without care or concern. That's the same person who stole my social security card. Yeah. And that situation stems from like other shit. I'm not gonna go too deep into it, but yeah. Right? He discovered that he was sick and he was so angry, he lashed out and chose to harm other people. Well, if I have it, you have to have it too. Type shit. Yep. I would not be surprised if he spit in people's cups. Okay? That's how fucked up that individual is. Seriously. You're not comfortable with who you are. But you'll project and pretend that you are the cream of the fucking crop. You want to pretend like you're that bitch or that dude. Like, sit down. You don't have anything. And here's the thing. Even when I didn't have anything, I was still the shit. Sugar honey iced tea, baby. And I always knew this. The difference is you and I, we're built different. I'm built forward. You're built big and backwards. Okay. I see you trying to put this. Okay. I see. You want to attack my confidence, my passion, right? And this is coming in, like you're probably doing this as I speak. You want to attack my pentacles and break up my happiness because you are the fucking devil. And as it turns out, you just jealous of my positivity, right? Oh. And I actually, there are people gunning for me right now that have everything they need in life, but their only desire is to hurt me because they can't be me and they can't have me. And that's the only thing that's holding them back, is their hatred for me. Confirmation. Okay. So, where else do you hurt? Let's see. Okay. Social environments can be great sources of stress for some, promoting the repression of parts of the shadow, repression of parts of the self into the shadow. In social groups, which parts of the self do you think you adjust or minimize most often? That tells me no two people have ever known you to be the same person. Now, I will say this is my greatest flex. If you put all of my friends and the people who honestly know me in one room, and if you put all of my friends and the people who honestly know me in one room, and someone did something to me or around me or said something to me, every person in that room is going to have the same reaction. Oh shit. Snatch her. Every last one of them. All of my friends and the people that I love and the people who love me, I have confidence. I can leave them in a room. Not only won't they talk shit about me, but they'll trade compliments. And they will all have the same thing to say about me. She's funny, but she has a bad attitude. Or she got a bad attitude. Bitch is funny though. But they're all gonna say the same thing. But you, no, you are struggling. Because you want to be the main character, but you know you don't have what it takes. You're trying to insert yourself where you do not belong, where you do not fit, where you were not called. Okay? Did it ever occur to you that yes, you could be a fucked up person, but even God gave Pharaoh a fair shot? Before God, amen, before God hit anybody with plagues, he said, listen, I just want to talk to you real quick. So I know that you say you have these 15 motherfuckers right here, and they create all of this. What I'm trying to teach you, son, is that's not what had happened. And so I am the one true God, and you're free to believe whoever you want, but my people and my believers, you have to let them go before I start to act a fool. And Pharaoh's like, go ahead, bitch, act a fool. And he was like, oh, I bet. And oh, shit went down. Shit went down. I'm really hoping that it doesn't come down to the whole firstborn thing again, because I'm a firstborn. And I can just see me and my oldest son. We have the same attitude, and we would be questioning what the fuck we did to end up here. What did you do? What did you do? Are you the reason I'm here? Are you the reason I'm here? So, y'all are, oh, Jesus is giving you a chance to turn around. He told me to tell you to turn around. Confirmation, just turn around. Just turn around. Don't do what you want to do, because then Jesus is going to do what he wants to do. And he says, I can watch.